everyone, and welcome back to Scooping Poop with Vivian and also Cheerio! Oh, he's sleepy. Yes, you are sleepy, aren't you? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, baby. So I have Cheerio here today because today I will be debunking 5 rat myths/misconceptions. So myth number 1 is that rats are dirty or that they can give you illnesses. Okay, so when most people associate rats with illness, we are talking about the bubonic plague. Yay! Is it really true that an adorable little potato cupcake here was responsible for killing a third of Europe? Not really, kind of maybe. There is a misconception when it comes to the bubonic plague. I am no historian, but based on the things that I have heard, essentially, rats really weren't the direct cause of the transmission of the plague. It was actually the fleas that lived on the rats. So I feel like a lot of people have the image of a bunch of rats going around and biting people and spreading the plague. However, that just wasn't true. Instead, fleas and of course other insects that came in contact with the rats got the plague, and that's how it really transferred to a bunch of different people. And of course, there's also transmission through other rodents besides rats. Gerbils were actually a huge culprit when it came to the rodent transmission of the bubonic plague. So rats really get a bad rep for it, but at least we know now that pet rats don't carry the bubonic plague. I mean, if that makes you feel any better, touching my rat will not give you the Black Death, so calm your tits. Now, going on about this myth, people associate rats with dirty things like sewers and poop and trash and landfills. But rats are actually impeccably clean creatures. They groom themselves constantly throughout the day, just as much as your cat grooms themselves. Rats love being clean, and after they touch you, they actually think you're gross, and so they'll scurry off in the corner and just... Now let's talk about the reason why rats are oftentimes associated with trash. Alright, so rats are naturally scavengers, meaning they'll go around for little bits and pieces of food all around their environment, and that's what they eat. They're also very opportunistic, meaning that if they find this, they'll eat it! I mean, they're not picky eaters at all. They are omnivores, and although they might hunt some small creatures and stuff, many of the times they do scavenge around big areas to find food. And obviously, in modernized America, a great place to find food is in the trash can. Raccoons and opossums, for example, are also scavengers, which is why all of these nighttime trash rodents are all associated with each other, because they simply want to find food in your trash. That's one of the reasons why media portrays rats as dirty, because they're oftentimes found in dirty environments, when in reality, they don't like being dirty. They just like eating. They really just like eating. And the second myth is that rats are aggressive or scary creatures. Do you find this baby scary? I feel so bad for you. Of course, in every single horror movie, there's always going to be a scene where a rat is off in the corner and they play this very, very annoying and fake squeaking sound. It is meant to give you chills and make you feel all scary when I'm in a movie theater literally screaming, "Baby!" Now, of course, this is an opinion. I do not find rats scary at all, and it's not so much as a myth or misconception. It's just a common association that we have with rats, and I'm here to get rid of that. So rats by nature are not aggressive animals. They are territorial with each other, and they usually form a specific hierarchy and stuff, but they do not go out purposely wanting to attack other creatures. Again, they are scavengers, so they don't necessarily go out and hunt all the time, so they don't have that predatory instinct. However, they are prey animals, meaning that they're probably more scared of you than you should be scared of them. Rats in captivity have been rarely known to bite. Honestly, I have never ever been bitten by one of my rats on purpose. One time my hand was covered in whipped cream, so I kind of asked for it, but they have never bitten me out of aggression or fear, ever. In fact, with most pet rats, if they are uncomfortable around you, the most they'll do is freeze in fear or run away. They rarely ever pursue someone with attack. And the third myth is that rats and mice are the same creature. If you guys don't know, I also have a pet mouse named Echo. I will insert a photo. He's an amazing little boy and I love him, but he is not a rat And Cheerio is not a mouse either. Although rats and mice look very, very similar, just differences in size, people oftentimes use the terms rat and mouse interchangeably when they are in fact different species. So there are major differences when it comes to rats and mice. For one, rats are obviously a lot bigger. And second of all, rats are also smarter. Mice are smart creatures, but rats have incredible intelligence, and many people agree that they are the second smartest rodent in the world. First place is the squirrel, but you know. There are of course other differences when it comes to mice and rats, and I actually have a video on that coming out soon. But for now, I just wanted, don't jump. But for now, I just wanted to talk to you about the myth that they are the same animal, because they're not. Cheerio. The fourth myth is the myth that rats are hardy, unkillable creatures. We say things to people like, you're harder to get rid of than rats. I mean, at least I think people say that, or maybe my parents just really hate me. But the reason why rats are such big pests sometimes is simply the fact that they can reproduce like crazy. But we oftentimes associate rats with hardiness and being unkillable, when in reality, pet rats can actually be really fragile. Now, they do heal quickly when it comes to cuts and stuff, and they can jump from really high places without an issue, but when it comes to their health, most rats are actually kind of weak. Now, there's something called mycoplasma, and it's a type of bacteria that exists in pretty much every single rat in the world, except for laboratory rats because they have their ways. But even your pet rats have mycoplasma, and it lives inside of them dormant until the rat goes through stress or some kind of other illness and it brings it out. Now, this expresses itself in the upper respiratory infection, which are super common. I'm not fucking joking. When I first brought my rats home, I lit a wax melt in the other room and they got an infection. And I had to take them to the vet, and it's happened multiple times. Like, if somebody walked into your house wearing perfume, your rats are just like, guess I'll die. And the fifth myth is that rats can live alone. So this is actually an interesting one to talk about, because for some reason, creatures that actually do like to live alone, like hamsters, people want to put them together, which results in territorial fights. But when it comes to an animal that's naturally social and needs to be living with another rat, people like to keep them apart, which is really weird. So oftentimes people associate male animals particularly that they can't maybe mix together because they'll fight over hormonal aggression or whatever. Mice in particular are a good example. Male mice in captivity generally cannot be kept together unless they're both neutered and in special situations, or else male mice typically will fight to the death. However, with rats, this is untrue. Male rats can live together in captivity as pets, and they love being with each other. When it comes to female rats, again, they love living with each other. And of course, it's always best to keep rats within the same sex unless they are spayed or neutered, because you don't want a bunch of rat babies. But rats actually, again, they form very complex social hierarchies, and they have specific roles, and they can actually talk to each other. They just talk at a frequency where we can't hear, but that's absolutely adorable. They play games with each other, they groom each other, they sleep together, and they cuddle. And although sometimes they might have arguments or little ratty fights, as long as it's not serious, rats need to be living together. And the final myth I have today is that rats aren't lovable. Yes, they are. Mwah! Myth debunked. Oh my god, why did I do that? I just forgot that I'm actually seriously allergic to rats, and my face would probably break out in hives. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys are still unsure about rats, then maybe you want to look at my ASMR video where I show them being absolutely adorable. I really hope this video helped you guys open your eyes to rats, and of course I know that there are a few rat owners out there who already agree with me and know that they are just amazing animals. If you guys don't know, my upload schedule has changed. Instead of posting twice a week, I now post once a week, but occasionally I will add a second video for you guys because I love you all. If you want to subscribe to this channel, that will help me out a lot. I'm really close to getting to 1,000 subscribers, meaning that I'll have a lot more features on YouTube and that can possibly be monetized, meaning that I can take YouTube more seriously and put more time and effort into these videos for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye!